and welcome to Guides.Global. My name is John Howell and I'm the editorial director. Today we are dealing with crime and criminal cases in this short introductory video. With me today is Antonio Manzanares. Antonio is a partner in the law firm Manzanares International, based here in Marbella on the Costa del Sol in Spain.
Hello.
Foreigners do get involved in criminal cases in Spain.
Yeah.
What do you think are the ones that they get involved with most often? Where does the foreigner come into contact with the criminal law?
Yeah. First of all, you must know that you can be involved in a criminal case and the criminal code is applicable for anyone in Spain. Spanish, foreign people, okay?
And of course, it's exactly the same rules that apply.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yes.
Mainly, in our experience, when we have foreign people involved in criminal cases, mainly it's because drinking and driving.
Yes.
Okay, that is the main criminal cases in which we see more number of people involved in criminal cases in Spain.
Yes. And in terms of drinking and driving, we have actually done a separate video on that, so if people are interested, have a look at that. But the police take a very tough line on this, don't they?
Yeah.
Many people who've lived in Spain for many years will say, I used to drive, I'd go to the bar, I'd have 15 beers and I'd drive home, and nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
Well, that's not likely to happen now, unless perhaps you live way in the middle of the countryside. There are checks, controls, lots of breath tests, and if you get caught, it's quite serious.
Yeah, very serious. And in Spain, the police and the law is very strict with that. Okay, yes. With any criminal case that can happen, and you will be in a serious problem if you are involved in a criminal case in Spain.
And in fact, it's not just the police who are very strict about it. The judges too tend to be quite strict.
Absolutely.
You're likely to be treated more severely here than you are in many other European countries.
Maybe, yeah.
Perhaps worth mentioning as well, isn't it, that Spain is unusual, certainly as far as the Anglo-Saxon world is concerned. It's unusual in that you have minimum sentences as well as maximum sentences for offences.
Correct.
So, for example, if you are charged with an offence of rape, you will face a minimum period of, I forget how many years it is, but a certain number of years in prison, and a maximum sentence of a certain number of years in prison. So you will not walk away from court without going to prison.
That is correct. It is that if it has been proved, it has been proved that you have done one crime, one criminal offence, okay, and then you will be fined. You will go to prison, okay? What the judge is going to decide, depending on the circumstances, is if you will go 2 years or 4 years.
Yes.
Okay, there is a minimum, there is a maximum.
Yes.
Depending on the circumstances of the case, the judge can decide that you will go to the minimum or the maximum, but you cannot go away.
And this comes as a great surprise to people who come from countries such as Britain, where it is possible that the court could just say to you, don't be a naughty boy, don't do it again, go away.
It's not going
that
to
isn't
happen.
going to happen here in Spain.
It's not going to happen in Spain.
Okay, so let's imagine you have got into some sort of trouble, you've been arrested by the police.
Yeah.
There are several different types of police in Spain, but for our purposes this doesn't matter. They're all the police, they can all arrest you, and they can all keep you in custody.
Yeah.
What's the first thing that happens in a criminal case after you've been arrested?
If you are involved in a criminal case and you are going to be arrested, okay, that is going to be by the police, by any type of police that we have in Spain, national police or the Guardia Civil, okay? First thing that they will do is that they will inform you about the rights that you have, and that you have the right to appoint a lawyer,
yes.
Okay? Maximum time that you can be arrested by the police before going to the judge in Spain is 72 hours.
So 3 days.
3 days. It is
and that's so that they have time to complete their investigations.
That is. During that time, they will complete the investigation and they can ask you to do a declaration about some facts. Okay. It is important to know that before doing that, you have the right to contact with a lawyer. Okay, and you must do it. Okay, if not, you can be saying something that is not going to be good for you and that is going to have important consequences. Okay, it is that during that time, contact with the lawyer before doing any declaration. If you see that your rights are not protected, okay, during that hours, okay, that you are with the police, you have the right to wait to do any declaration in front of the judge. Okay.
So let's just pause there for a moment. So if you are arrested, you do need to see a lawyer and you'll be given the right to do that.
Yeah.
And there's a state defense system, isn't there, in place in Spain, so that a lawyer can be appointed for you?
Yeah, it is that if you don't know a lawyer, or if you decide to that you don't need a lawyer to do the declaration, to go to the judge, to defend your position, the state is going to appoint you one lawyer that is going to check that your rights are protected, okay, and one lawyer that is going to help you during all that procedure.
And without in any way being rude to them, are these good lawyers, or are they, as it were, baby lawyers, brand new lawyers who have nothing else to do?
No, in many cases they are good lawyers. Good lawyers. Yeah.
So you can have a lawyer appointed, or you can appoint your own lawyer, and you will then be interviewed by the police, and you may be asked to make a declaration about the case.
Yeah, you will do a declaration about the case, and there is one important thing is that when you do a declaration, at the end of doing the declaration, you will sign the declaration that you have done. Okay, it's good that you have an interpreter, yes, somebody who is helping you with the language.
Because of course it will be in Spanish.
That will be in Spanish,
yes.
Okay, and that what it will have in that declaration, that is going to happen in that declaration, is the Spanish version of what the translator has
yes.
done.
Yes.
Okay? It is that it is important that a lawyer who speaks English or a translator is helping you in order to confirm that what is in writing is exactly what you have said,
yes,
to avoid any misunderstanding.
Now, the next question that's going to arise is, are you going to be released, or are you going to be kept in custody until you appear before the courts? How is that decided?
It depends of the circumstances. Okay, it can happen that you are arrested 2 days, 3 days, and when all the investigation, all the facts are going to be submitted to the judge, it's going to be the judge who's going to decide if you go to prison provisionally, okay, until the investigation is not going to finish, or if you will go away, okay, and informing you about next time that you must go to the court to continue with any investigation. That is going to be a decision that is going to depend of the judge, depending of the circumstances, and that decision must be done in a maximum of 3 days. Yeah.
So the police do an initial investigation, they hand the case over to the judge, and this is a special type of judge, isn't it, who is there to complete the investigation of cases and decide whether you will face a criminal trial.
Correct.
And that's something that doesn't exist in many countries, but here it's central to the system.
Yeah, it's going to be the judge who's going to have the control or who is of any investigation that is going to be from that moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this judge, who is the juez de instrucción?
Juez de instrucción.
Will complete the investigation of the case, and that judge will decide, will you be given liberty or will you go to provisional jail?
Yeah.
And he will decide, is there enough evidence here to justify this going to a proper criminal case, or should the case be dismissed?
That is, that all this investigation is going to be by the one judge,
yes,
okay? And it is important to know, because maybe that is different than in all the countries, that that judge is not going to do the final decision,
yes,
about the criminal case.
Yes.
All investigation, all facts, all that has happened during the investigation are going to be passed to a different lawyer,
yes,
a different judge.
Different judge.
Okay? And it's going to be that judge, an independent judge of the one that has done the investigation, who is going to make the decision, who is going to make the trail.
Yes.
Okay?
And sometimes criminal cases in Spain for serious offences, things like fraud and rape and theft and killing somebody, they can take quite a long time, can't they?
Yeah.
They can go months and months and months and months.
It can be years.
Yes.
Okay? It can be years
during which time you might be in custody.
Yeah, it is that in some cases it can happen,
Yes.
depending on the crime in which you are involved, but it can happen that you are a long time. Yeah.
So really, I guess, for me, the two things that come out about Spain when it comes to criminal law is that really, if you're thinking of committing criminal offences, Spain is probably not the place to do it.
Yeah.
There are places where you will be treated more leniently than you would be here.
That is correct.
And secondly, if you do get involved with the police, then you really need to see a lawyer quickly. Yeah. Because if you can see a lawyer and they can persuade the police or the judge that you should be given liberty, this makes a huge difference.
Yeah, because anything that you are going to do during that first days, first steps, can have big consequence in the future.
Now, if you do see a lawyer in connection with a criminal case, do you have to pay for that lawyer, or is there some way in which that is paid for by the state?
If you are appointing your own lawyer, okay, you must pay for that.
Yes.
Okay, if that is not the case, only including if you have no money to pay a lawyer and you don't know any lawyer at that moment, it's going to be the state who is going to appoint you one lawyer.
So if the state appoints a lawyer, they pay for it. If you choose to use your own lawyer, then you will pay for it.
That is, but you will have a lawyer who is going to defend your interests, including if you don't want to appoint one particular lawyer, it's going to be the state who is going to appoint one lawyer that is going to assist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Antonio, thank you very much. I hope you found that interesting. Antonio has dealt with crime and criminal cases in Spain at much greater length in his written guide, so do have a look at that. There's a link in the box below. If you would like to contact Antonio or his team, there's also a link allowing you to do that. If you've liked this video, please say so by liking it and following us. And whether you do that or not, we look forward to seeing you again soon. Goodbye.